It's been an enormous privilege to hold this post. I've worked for this organisation for coming up 18 years. And every day, while there have been some significant challenges, every day has been an enormous privilege, and I always say that whenever I speak on behalf of this crew. Some great people in here now and some great people in here in the past. Been an absolute delight to work alongside them. The day in Moscow when we won 2 Sevens World Cups I thought was going to be quite unique, and then to see it repeated in San Francisco was bizarrely brilliant. Winning 2 World Cups. I think the way the country hosted in 2011 was a highlight for me. I thought we could have been a little bit normal New Zealand and been a bit sort of reluctant to get enthusiastic and carried away, and we didn't. We really got, I thought, we hosted the World Cup here brilliantly. But I get really, I get an enormous amount of satisfaction out of watching young men and women who are on these pillars grow as people when they wear a black jersey. And we've seen a couple recently, haven't we? When Carl debuted, and what a great story his is. And there'll be some more this year. And so it just reminds me of, I think, the luck we have, not luck, but the privilege we have working in sport, whether it's rugby or another code, doesn't really matter. But sport's such a special part of what makes New Zealand and actually good societies special. And we can do great things about people's lives, and we do. I mean, Fee's been an exceptional captain of the Blackferns. Play 50 caps in a program that you're lucky to get 2 or 3 games a year on average is an amazing record, and she's had a winning record like none others. Farah wasn't far behind her, frankly, and if she was a modern player, she would have had a very long career in a professional environment. But I mean, I'd like to name a prop, but it's hard not to single Richie out. I mean, in my time, I think we've been very fortunate with Richie. We always had a captain that's really cared about the game off the field. Obviously, outstanding athlete. He'll be unmatched in my view in international rugby. But just a great person that cared more broadly than about himself and that particular team and moment. He was very interested in the future and everyone else that was playing the game. We haven't decided actually. There's nothing immediate on the horizon. I haven't dismissed the possibility of going into another role if the right thing came up. My wife and my family and I have been talking for some time about when would be the right time to step aside and make sure that there's also the right time for the organisation, and I think the end of this cycle is perfect. I'd just like to thank everyone that's been involved in my time. I've had the honour of being in some pretty special places at very special times and lots of highlights, and as Brent said, virtually every day something comes at you that you haven't thought of, and I think out of all of those moments of adversity or challenge we've built on and done bigger and better things, and get through a Rugby World Cup and then pass on to someone else and take my rather large shadow out of the place.